Rod Kuslin, the Spoon Man for Risk on October 4th. As you've seen this big drop take place, we're watching very closely the premium thresholds. And we'd like to show you how this works. Now, we have various thresholds on the low side of the premium here. The threshold that we're paying particular attention to is the HLT here at negative 839. Now, as the premium lows fail to penetrate this threshold, it indicates to us that that buying is beginning to take place here at the lows. Now, we don't think we've hit the low yet, but this is the pattern. When the premium fails to drop below this threshold, which was established here in conjunction with this low on the Spoos, as we continued to drop here, every time we hit a major, we dropped into a major new low, we were slightly below, with the exception of over here, slightly below that threshold. And now you see how we have failed to go any lower. And we have a little bit of a divergence here. Now, how high might we go up before we resume coming back down? To answer that question, we're going to look at the thresholds, what we refer to here as the LHT and the MHT. Now, the LHTs, these are the lower high thresholds. You can see instances of pivots where the LHT is moving up. Okay, but over here it failed. All right, we're going to extend this latest out to the right. We've got to get above this threshold in order to really see this market continue to move up. We could use this MHT here as well. All right. In fact, obviously, the Spoos have got to get above this threshold for this to continue to move up, but it's really got to get above the green line if it's going to start to make some serious new highs from this low here. We could expect let's see here. We don't really have anything showing up on the radar right now in terms of where this market is liable to retrace to before it resumes the drop. So we're not going to speculate on it. It's going to have a little bit of a hard time getting above the 50 and a quarter mark, which is where we're just about at right now. But if it pushes through to 50.75, expect that the premium will likely move up to this green line area. Let's watch how this develops. Okay, there's the 50.75. No big response on the premium as of yet. Now, we can also say that so long as the bulk of the premium bars remain above this low threshold at -8, we call this an MLT, the chances are that the market will continue to move up. We've got to remain above here, above the low threshold here, and we've got to spike above the MHT level here in order to expect some new highs. There we go. So we're pushing through. Now this little reaction that you see in here can be attributed to the selling activity on the YM. We just breached the low value area. We rallied up to the low value area on the YM. And so we see a little selling going on here. But it does seem to indicate here that we are going to continue to move up. The MHT moved up just slightly on this bar. Over here we are at 729 as it shows here. 726 here, so just slightly higher. So we'll get a little selling going on here, and then hopefully we'll turn and we can resume the move back up. And the premium confirms that. And we see the first breach of the 709 level. Very well. That's good. Yeah, this is going to continue to move back up. But right at around 52.5, maybe into 53, we may see this thing turn back down. So the question is, when can we, what do we expect to see in the way of the premium that would suggest that the premium is being overbought here? Now, what we would expect is this kind of a move up where the premium begins to spike up. And then if you can just imagine a bell curve here on the premium. Highs on the premium and then lower highs on the premium. So what we would expect to see here is these MHT levels beginning to drop, somewhere over here. Instead of this continued climb, you just look at the premiums here, the MHT levels here, 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 and here. Now, if instead we see these beginning to drop, while this is continuing to move up, then ultimately the premium will drop too low. The highs of the premium will drop too low, and we'll begin to see the market drop in a corresponding way. Okay, so you see it there. New high, failed to get above the 709 threshold. But I would really suspect this to not get much above the 726 level as well, which we saw that happen just here. And if that, it's kind of a funny looking bell curve. It finally moved up, short-lived, but just trace the highs, draw a line, and you can see that we're right in this area here right now as we speak, where we can expect that maybe this thing is going to begin to drop. Yeah. Now, if this continues to move up, we can expect 5350 will probably get hit. And here you got to be very careful, because we don't see anything happening on the low side of the premium to suggest that a drop can be expected. We could see this thing pop up another point, perhaps. Okay, there we have 53.25. See how the premium is just slightly above that threshold. I think we're going to go for 53.50. No. That may be all she wrote. See how low the premium was when we hit this level? Now, that may be off a bit. Yeah, there is... Take a moment just to comment on this. That threshold is incorrect. We'll show you how this is corrected. Sometimes there's if we look at the ES and the ESI index closely, there are times when there is a missing bar, and you don't really see it here. But okay, that was it. That was it. As we spoke. This dropped below that level. So there you have it. We're going to just adjust, toggle this, and you're going to see this number change. Because this bar here, what's happening, the high of the premium on this bar was 724, but it's showing up as 746 or 749. Can't be sure about that. 749, pardon me, which is on the next bar over. And what's happened is that sometimes we get a glitch in the data feed where there's a bar missing and it throws the pivot bar off by 1. So all we do to correct that is we just toggle the status, and then it comes back and corrects itself. So I think we might get another move up slightly. I think right now we're looking at getting ready to short this. Well, we should be shorting it now, in fact. Tight stop, because if it breaks above the 2153.75 level, this thing could continue to rocket up quite a bit. Let's take a look at the yeah. In fact, really, maybe I think we'll have to revise that statement. Yeah, the VWAP is right in here. We're going to move up there. We're going to move up there. So we need to wait. We need to wait a little bit longer before we take a short. Because it looks to me like that's we're gonna succeed at hitting this level. Take into consideration all of the relevant information before you execute. Premium says we've got the pattern that we need in order to see this drop, but there's evidence to suggest that this is going to continue to move up a little bit. So even though the threshold here dropped, there you go, there you go. Even though the threshold dropped, you notice that the premium itself said, no, we're not done, we're not done, because the highs of the premium started to breach these thresholds in here, suggesting we're still moving up and we're above this lower threshold in here. The lows of the premium are above. Highs of the premium are above that threshold. So up we continue to go. All right, unfortunately that's all the time we have for. We've moved up to the point of control on the ES. I changed that. No, that's not the point of control. The point of control is up at 56.25. We're not that high yet. But we're at an upper value area on the YM. So we're going to continue to move up. Yes. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So that completes the subject of our video this morning.